Producers are counting the cost of planned new restrictions by one of their biggest customers. As we reported last night, China is insisting on cleaner coal for its power plants in a bid to tackle its choking smog problems. There are predictions that will undermine Australia's exports of coal, but industry representatives say it's business as usual. Here's finance correspondent Philip Lasker.
It's the renowned big city pollution Chinese leaders can't ignore.
The Premier of China has made it very clear cleaner air, reduced particulates is absolutely key on his priority, but he needs to have a demonstrated plan that moves towards sustainable growth. Sustainable growth means less polluting growth.
China will tighten restrictions on coal from next year based on the resource's sulphur, ash and energy content. The restrictions will be even more stringent for coal consumed in key population centres like Beijing and Shanghai, and that's where Australia could be hit. The ANZ says it could potentially affect half of Australia's thermal coal exports to China.
It's a sea change in China's electricity market, and Australia, as one of the two biggest exporters of coal, should be absolutely on top of that point, and at the moment I don't think our industry is.
Coal exports represent about 20% of total resource exports. Thermal exports used for power stations make up 8.5% of total exports, worth nearly $17 billion. Of Australia's thermal coal exports, a quarter go to China, the third biggest customers after Japan and India. Mining giants Rio Tinto and BHP say the changes won't be significant for their operations. As a major exporter of higher quality coking coal, the restrictions won't be significant for Queensland either. It's Australia's most populous state that'll be hardest hit.
New South Wales coal exports are 80% thermal coal, so yes, Queensland is 80% coking coal. So if you're looking at an Australian context, New South Wales is definitely more exposed.
But the coal industry lobby group doesn't subscribe to the view that this represents a major long-term threat to the industry. It's business as usual.
Well, we believe the problem's been overstated. We need to remember Australia has high-quality coal. We're confident we can meet the requirements of the Chinese, and not only that, contrary to many of the reports, we believe exports will continue to grow to China and other countries.
It was a view echoed by the federal government because the tighter restrictions could eliminate lower quality coal competitors.
We do have to obviously ensure that we manage the market, but I think looking forward, this announcement will not only not affect us in the short term, but actually could be advantageous to us in the longer term.
That's head in the sand stuff, according to Tim Buckley.
I see China reaching peak thermal coal demand in the next 2 years, by 2016, and I think we'll exit this decade where China is actually returning to be a net opportunistic exporter of coal.
But the Minerals Council doesn't buy any of it and sees Australia's prospects as boosted by China's push for cleaner air.
The Australian coal industry stands to be part of that improvement in environmental circumstances by just doing that, by supplying high-quality coal.
It's a little difficult seeing the truth, as is so often the case in China.